My name is Jenna Dugas, and I will be talking about how social media affects young adults today. Technology has made communication extremely easy all around the world with just a few simple applications on a laptop, cell phone, or any smart device. These apps have gained the name social media, and it is how we connect with others that you do not see every day. Society today, especially in the younger generation, such as college students, seems to be affected by this international outbreak. Studies show that social media takes a huge part in someone's safety by giving too much information. Relationships are tested every day due to social media, and not just intimate ones. This can apply to friendships, family members, acquaintances, etc. People often wonder what our world would be like without these platforms. Would it be safer? Would it be easier? Or would it be a little boring? How would we keep up with our friends? How would we keep up with people that we aren't seeing every day? How will we keep up with your cousin that lives 3 states away from you? Students should be encouraged to not completely stop, but limit their time and social use on social media for their own health. So, does social media affect young adults today? There has been a drastic change in society over the last decade. Behavior in young adults has altered and declined in many different ways. The predicted reason that I have towards this problem is social media, a form of electronic communication to share information and personal content. Social media has gone up in more detail than imagined since it first came out in 1997. It is known to be the reason behind rapes, relationship issues, and lack of social skills. Lack of social skills meaning that you can talk to someone so easily during a conversation in an app or through text messages just by typing, but you can't really have that same conversation with them in person. That is a big problem in our life. My hypothesis suggests that the social media is the reason behind a lot of negativity in the world. I'm not the only person to think that, because there are many articles on how many social media affects the society of children and adults. The relationship between social media and fear of crime is examined. Theories of media effect have begun long ago when cyberbullying, the use of an online platform to bully someone, and pornography, visual material displaying sexuality, becomes familiar words. According to Benjamin Gibbs, findings that reveal that overall social media consumption is significantly related to fear of crime and his relationship between varies of safety and comfort. A woman who may feel beautiful may post an inappropriate picture of herself or an appropriate picture of herself, and it'll be completely changed in how it's supposed to be viewed. If a woman is posting a picture of herself focusing on her face, it can very well be distracted from her body and what she's wearing, and people will talk about that nonstop. Women do not ask for these types of behaviors, but we somehow receive them due to the abuse of social media. If social media were non-existent, that picture or comment would not have been anywhere for other people to see. Giving away too much information on social media platforms hand predators an open invitation to your life, allowing them to be able to stalk you or know things that some people may not know or should not know. Using data collected from a multi-site sample of mostly young adult social media does indeed cause fear of crime. Social media has the biggest impact on relationships today. Whether or not you are in a healthy and stable relationship, apps like Snapchat and Instagram test that stability. The source of these apps is friends. Exchanging details causes it to be easier to communicate when you are friends on social media. For example, my relationship has been tested many times with Snapchat because you never know what this conversation is. This conversation always disappears. You never know what that person's talking about. And like I said, typing a conversation is completely different from how you would say it in person. Therefore, it could be inappropriate. They're typing. That's something that you would never say in person. When you slide up on someone's selfie or someone's video, it causes an issue with trust. Trust is tested every day with these social apps and can be used especially on romantic relationships, causing someone to have jealousy, envy, suspicion, surveillance, and infidelity. Having what is called friends is the reason behind low relationship commitment for couples between the ages 16 and 55. A survey was performed where 156 young adults were questioned, asking whether or not their relationship was ever tested due to social media. Facebook used has increased 60% of jealousy towards other females for looking the way they do, and other males for hitting the like button on someone's significant other's post. For example, when scrolling through a Facebook feed or an Instagram feed, you could see your significant other liking a girl who is obviously much well put together than yourself, and it could make your self-esteem go lower. So that's the negativity part of the social media platforms. These platforms don't only affect romantic relationships, but friendships and families as well. Social media can cause screenplays affecting the relationships between two friends. Technology can disrupt the bonds you have with people and bring out people's true colors. Families are experiencing loss of communications with their kids who happen to be going to be young adults. Most 20-year-olds, including myself, still live with their parents. Social media takes away that all the time. When I am in the living room, I stay on my phone while talking to my family. I don't give them my full attention, and that is something that I will work on. Always being on the phone and not being alert, platforms that influence the adoption and sustained use of communication skills from a home can also impact the values of families and personal relationships. Social media causes many negative things. While the description of family-friendly and romantic relationships can be upsetting, the lack of social skills due to a significant amount of networking is unbearable. Anxiety and depression comes from a lack of social skills, leading to a lonely life. In the last 20 years, technology has risen, and the ways humans interact through Messenger, comments, and Snapchat have made it more difficult to participate in face-to-face communication. For example, when a friend is wanting to call me who lives in Texas and I am in Louisiana, I don't always answer, and so that kind of makes us drift away. That causes the news that she has to tell me to not be the same whenever you text it through, instead of FaceTiming or calling or anything else. Most jobs are social jobs and have to deal with people, and it is becoming harder to do easy communication on social media. Two people can talk for days through Messenger, but when it comes to being in person, their minds become blank. Researchers have found that the brains of the ones who spend most of their time networking resemble drug addicts. It is known that 54% of young adults have an issue with social skills due to always being behind a screen when communicating with another person. A higher percentage is in teenagers because of the fact that they are newly to social media and acting without parents or adults around. A student was examined to indicate that college students, along with others from the age 16 to 55, develop issues with social media and social media skills. In a college, 112 males and females were asked about their social skills, anxiety, and use of technology. Out of 112 students, only 16 of their minds were present during a conversation that was initiated by the researcher. By asking these students about their social skills, it resulted in more than half being socially awkward due to more communication through a phone or computer screen than face-to-face communication. Social media has definitely taken over our daily lives. It has become recognized as unsafe, problematic, or relationships among peers, and the reason behind lack of communication skills. Research articles have been initiated to show that social media is the root to those negative theories. While social media may help and have positive results in some situations, the technology empowered it has developed over the years is frightening. Social media does help whenever you want to connect with people, like I said, people around the world, people you can't always see every day. It does help you see your little cousin that you don't see growing up and seeing good parts of his life, but it doesn't help always. It causes more negativity than positivity, and that is what we should be concerned about. Social media has many impacts on young adults, not only teenagers but college students as well. The research given will be surveyed from students 20 years of age and up who are enrolled at LSUA. Single or in a relationship, the student and the participants in the SurveyMonkey will consist of about 15 male students and 15 female students. This survey will indicate if someone is affected by social media, whether it's their safety, whether it's their relationships, whether it's their social skills. It's how they are affected by it. questionnaires and during the survey are simple yet important. This survey includes 6 questions in multiple choice form. The questions include: how old are you? Are you 18 to 30? Or are you 30 or older? Describe your relationship status. In a relationship / married, single, or I'd rather not say. Has any of your current or past relationships been tested by social media apps? The answers are either yes or no. Have you ever felt unsafe after remembering how much information you have shared on social media about yourself and life? Yes or no. Are you able to socially act in person the same you socially act on social media? No, it is harder to interact in person. Yes, I interact the same way. No, it is harder to interact on social media. Yes, in some ways only. How many hours do you spend online a day? 1 to 2 hours a day, 2 to 3 hours a day, 3 to 4 hours a day, 5 or more hours a day. To properly collect data to answer if social media affects young adults today, the survey will be placed in a SurveyMonkey. I placed my survey in SurveyMonkey and to test if social media does affect young adults today, whether it's their safety, relationships, or social skills, or all of it. And I got results back. So the survey was a total of 16 participants who took the survey, and the results have a good amount of data. The results came from a combination of LSU A students and a few students who have already graduated. According to the results, participants do not find that social media has affected their safety, social skills, or relationships. About 43.5% of the participants answered in a more positive setting about the research, and the participants believe that it's not negative. In the survey, the belief that social media may affect adults today was the hypothesis. The second hypothesis was if there was a relationship between social media and social skills. Out of 60 responses, 53 were over the age 30 and 46 were between 18 and 30. With that being said, in my opinion, if more of the participants were closer to my age, which is 22, more of them would have said that social media does affect them. Because social media does affect me. Social media affects my friends. Social media affects a lot of people my age, especially relationships and safety. If I were taking the survey, all of my answers would have been negative. I feel that this is because I am younger and use more social media than students over the age of 30. Students over the age of 30 don't necessarily worry about social media as much as younger adults do. Has any of your current or past relationships been tested by the media maps? 68% answered no, while 31% answered yes. According to Pew Research Center and many other references, young couples suffer tremendously due to social media. One of those relationships being my own. A lot of times my relationship has been questioned by social media, and I wouldn't have known that it was being questioned if social media wouldn't have been there. I would have never known to go through to invade someone's privacy and to see what they were doing behind someone's back without social media. Social media didn't exist, I would have never known, and I would still be in that relationship. So sometimes it's good, but sometimes it's bad. Another question is, have you ever felt unsafe after remembering how much information you have shared on social media about yourself and your life? The results show that 81 participants said no. This I don't believe. I think that a lot of people have safety issues when it comes to social media. You have your name, where you live, who you're dating, who your friends are, where you were yesterday. A lot of people share a lot of things on Facebook, and you think that they're private, but they're really not. The results show that only a few are affected by its wholeness. This study could have been researched more. It could have been more than 16 participants to get more accurate data. For future research, the participants' age group should only apply to 20-year-olds 20 and over. If more people admitted the harm that social media causes, maybe an end to the violence would happen. The results were insignificant and went against the statement that social media does affect young adults today, and it does not affect their social skills or safety. Thank you.